Today's video, we're going to look at yesterday's sell-off, what caused it. We'll also look into a 5-step process into wealth. And probably the most important thing is the crypto top in. I'm going to show you the model that I use, and it's done a very good job of predicting the last 4 tops and also identifying the lows forming. It's going to be a fantastic episode. Stay tuned and let's run the numbers. Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS and the CTKS method. If you're new, a very warm welcome and welcome back CTKS family. My goal is to assist you to become more of a financial and emotional blessing to yourself and those you love. Going back 24 hours ago, we saw a sea of green. This was yesterday's price action. The bulls were clobbering the bears. How things changed inside the markets went red and everybody just yelled, sell, sell, sell. The issue is, markets are always moving between the bull phase and the bear phase. There are even memes inside social media saying that the bulls are on life support currently. This is today. When Bitcoin started to sell down, it sold down wildly and brought all of the crypto alts with it. This is something that even people with a tremendous number of followers on social media just don't factor in. Bitcoin's gravitational pull is absolute. That's its pull, not its pull. People tend to look for the causes, such as what is happening in Iran. Or it could be the FOMC meeting, it could be China, it could be anything. But actually, financial markets don't work as the way that people think they do, or the way that the news tells you they do. And many thanks to Barnes. We'll have a look into the VIX right now. The VIX is the volatility gauge of the S&P 500. When it goes up, the volatility goes up. Specifically, when the VIX goes up, we expect markets to come down. If it goes up substantially, we expect markets to come down substantially. If you were doing your cheat sheet and you'd done the profiting course, you already know that the VIX came into a stack of heavy structural support and was likely to bounce. And boy oh boy did it bounce. That is precisely and exactly what brought the entire crypto market down. Now the thing to understand, the VIX is at very, very strong structural resistance right now. This is actually a template from the profiting course. Students, make sure that you look through these templates. Handling the volatility is incredibly important to do, so I want to give you an introduction to a 5-step process to wealth. When people get inside financial markets, they want to buy or sell, which is basically just called trading. First of all, have you assessed the cheat sheet? Remember that we just looked at the VIX, just that little box right there. The cheat sheet is wildly important to do. When you understand the cheat sheet, you're ahead of 95% of people inside financial markets. But of course, the cheat sheet is just one thing. You must make sure that you're structurally assessing things, just like we did inside the VIX. If you'd like to get a better idea of how to read structure, Price Action Masterclass is the way to go. Next thing, of course, you don't trade unless you've assessed the structure. Also, you need to go across to your money chart. That is literally the chart that you're putting money into. What is its structure? If you don't know that structure, please do not trade. You're very likely to buy at resistance and sell at support. One thing that I focused on very, very well inside the profiting course was reading between charts. This is a vital thing to do, and I've also covered that off in previous public videos. If you're not reading between charts, please do not trade. Also, you need a quality setup to be identified, and then when you've identified it, you need to wait. The process to wealth is not to trade blindly, it's to trade effectively. Please let me know any questions you might have about this 5-step process. I'm really happy to expand it. There is no wealth to be found inside emotions, and this is something really important to just keep in mind. If the markets are going red, people just scream sell because the news and the signals, they're just all so terrible. It's the end of the world. Why wouldn't you sell? But this is a retail thing to do. Please do not let the media outlets chalk up your personality and cost you a fortune. And of course, when it goes green, everybody says, oh, fantastic, I'm so happy, let's buy, it's going to the moon. It is doing neither of those things. It is simply price moving in a wave. You literally need to learn to earn, and you must get rid of emotions when it comes to your buying and selling decisions. As you will find, and as we've just talked about for years and years on this channel, it's all about structure, structural support and structural resistance. Remember back to the VIX. There are also a ton of rules that you'll need to know about financial markets, and Rule 4 is a particularly good one. Price moves in waves. When we say price is moving in a wave, it's going up and down like this in an uptrend. In a downtrend, it's going down and up like this. But where does it move between? It moves between structural levels. So if there's a structural level, again, think about the VIX. If it's coming down into structural support, especially heavy structural support, it is most probabilistically inclined to bounce up to the structure above it. Another way to think about it, the bulls and the bears are continuously on a seesaw. Neither one really gains full control. They're both playing up and down games. When you understand structure, it's an absolute game changer. Bitcoin came down because of a negative CTKS gap, but it came up because of a positive CTKS gap. Understanding structure will make you a fortune. Always understand the thicker and clustered lines, these SLs, Stanfield levels, or CTKS levels. That is where all of the power is inside the market. If the price is below, we would expect it to just arc off if it's really strong and has continuation. But this depends on intercorrelation and interconnection. You can't just look at the chart and say, I know what this chart is doing. You need to look across the charts. Unfortunately, only professionals do that. The rest of the market is just blindly guessing and getting really angry because they lose money. Join the professional side of the market is it's vital to your economic health. Also, understanding where the CTKS gaps are, they can make you a fortune. And if you know that a CTKS gap has been filled on the way up, it can get filled on the way down just as quickly. Use that volatility to your benefit. In yesterday's video, we literally had this price action. On Bitcoin, we were coming into that 108,729, all of this structural overhead resistance, and through a positive CTKS gap. And I said in yesterday's video, just be aware that positive can turn into negative. And what happened today? Look at this reversal. Boy, oh boy, did it turn negative. It went all the way down. Now, what causes this? If you have a negative CTKS gap, it's very likely to structurally overshoot. We could have got a structural overshoot to the positive side if we were looking at a bit of a different chart pattern. In other words, if we had continuous momentum like we had back here. In yesterday's price action, the VIX came into a mass of structural support and then rebounded up into structural resistance. This just perfectly coincided with the news, but the problems were inside the market already. That is precisely why we do the cheat sheet. Yesterday, total crypto market cap went on a journey with Bitcoin. And where Bitcoin went, total also went. We can see that it came down into structural support. This has been tapped many times before and has been a really good level. If you don't know the structure, you're guessing. If you're guessing, you're using emotion and you are bound, unfortunately, to lose. There is a fantastic mini masterclass about price action with structure, and this particular masterclass is just a ripper. Make sure that you look for it. Just check out the description of this video. Now the last section is the Bitcoin top in. We've seen so much volatility inside the market. It's been red one day, green the next, red the next. People are just scratching their heads. What the heck is happening? This is why it's always a good idea to zoom out from time to time and to understand how price has been playing out. This is the indicator that I use. And you can see it's done a very good job of nailing the past 4 tops inside crypto. Let's have a look. Is the CTKS top forming? Not at the current time. We're in a definite uptrend and it's getting a little bit wobbly. It's weakening somewhat, but we see that we're not getting this kind of action. When you get a big drop off like this, capitulation is on the way. When you get capitulation, that's where the bottoms form. We are not seeing that at the current time. In other words, no capitulation. So, is the top in? Well, no, not at this current time. We're not seeing any form of topping action. In fact, we're quite a way above any form of topping. Are we about to lose structure and fall to our imminent death? You know that's not the case. Price is just moving in a wave, bullish, bearish, between structural levels. That's why you must look at the structure. From a long-range perspective, everything is in order. Bitcoin has not topped out and it's not rolled over either. When you understand structure, it's a total game changer. And it's always good to be in something for the technology. If you're liking the video, please smash that thumbs up button, and inside the comments, please let me know what you would like me to cover off in future videos. And thank you to everybody who's commented. And of course, who have watched. Please make sure that you download the free cheat sheet from ctksmethod.org. Doing the cheat sheet is an absolute game changer. And when you can look at the cheat sheet with structure, whoa, boy oh boy. You put profits on your radar. And please make sure to check out that price action masterclass. Check out the link in the description of this video. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again inside the next video. Bye for now.